with Mark Baker, the head coach of the Newton Falls girls basketball team. Mark, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to sit down and talk with you guys.
All right, we want to start this season preview with a reflection of last year. And I know during the offseason, you've probably been watching a lot of film on last year's team, especially the returning players and things that you can build off of. So, what kind of things did you see from this team last year that you think you can build on and grow in
Yeah,
coming into this
obviously
season?
last year we dealt with youth. One of the things that you really just can't teach is experience. And we played a lot of girls last year that really didn't have little to no varsity experience at all. That's going to translate to this year is quite a few girls that got varsity time last year are back. We didn't graduate a single senior last year. So you can see already the knowledge of the game and the ability that we've been able to adapt to the speed of the game, going from, there's always a big jump going from the freshman level to the junior varsity level to the varsity level. But I've seen the girls kind of get used to that pace a lot quicker. The pace are quicker in practice as well. We've had a couple scrimmages so far that have gone pretty well. So things are on the up and up for the team here.
I mean, one of the benefits of having so much youth in one year is how much it helps you build for the next year. Do you see that? Do you see a lot of last year helping you guys to be a little bit more confident, a little bit more experienced coming into this season?
Yeah, definitely starting to see the difference. Just over the summertime, in the few things that we were able to do to go to a couple shootouts and participated in a summer league, you could just see the growth that many of the girls had made. And again, we're looking, we're still pretty youthful, to be honest with you. I mean, right now we're only looking at about 3 seniors on the team and quite a few sophomores and juniors in the mix. So still really not, I wouldn't call us overly veteran laced, but definitely got quite a few girls that have some varsity experience. But you can already see the growth that they've made in just a short period of time.
Let's talk about that summer. I know basketball summer is so important for the sport to kind of get you guys ready for the preseason. What kind of things did this program do in the summer, and what was kind of your evaluation of the way the summer went for you guys?
Yeah, typical off season for us. We'll do our lifting and we try to do some things to make ourselves more athletic. To be totally honest with you, we try to spend a lot of time working on individual skill work and shooting, ball handling, getting faster, agility drills, and things like that. And we did participate in a summer league in the month of June. We got to go to a couple shootouts. We went down to Mount Union one day. We went down to Malone one day. And that was definitely very beneficial for the girls to get to play against some different teams and see some different, in our league. Obviously, our league is super strong right now on the girls basketball side, but a lot of teams doing similar things. So nice to get outside of the league and see some different things and see different defenses and different offenses that teams run, different styles that teams play. So that was a good exposure for the girls to get to play against a wide variety of different teams.
One of the benefits of team camps like that, other than the X's and O's, of course, team chemistry is really built in those kind of situations. Did you see a lot of that? Did you see a lot of growth in team chemistry over the summer?
You definitely start to see some connections. I'm not a big. We don't run a whole lot of like specific sets for certain people, but the sets that we do run, there's a lot of timing involved, and you could automatically see that the girls didn't necessarily have to process. Okay, I'm supposed to go here and do this. There was a lot more reacting to go on, and the timing of different actions, both offensively and defensively, have improved. So. I would say, I give a lot of credit to a lot of my guards that they're now starting to see things kind of before they take place, and they're able to react to it as opposed to having to process it. And then that 1 second that you're a little bit late on that particular possession makes all the difference. So I see us starting to make more plays that are routine, that are reaction type plays more often.
I want to break down this roster, go over some of the returning players that you think are going to make key impacts, and then maybe some new faces Newton Falls fans should be ready to see this year as well.
Well, we're going to bring back a couple senior starters, Shelby Fowler, Natalie Albert. Both of them have been playing since they were sophomores, so they're going to have quite a bit to carry on their shoulders. Point guard Danny Drake, this will be her second year as the point guard. Gigi Morgan, another junior that's got a lot of experience over the last year or so. is really starting to be on an upswing. Some names that you're probably maybe not so familiar with. Another thing I'll throw in, Chloe Butler is another one. She's got a shoulder injury right now, but she's made probably one of our best athletes, to be totally honest with you. Some names you're probably not familiar with. Kennedy Howard is posing to be a pretty significant shooting threat for us. Lily Sate, maybe a name you recognize from volleyball, has really come onto the scene with some strong things. A big-time defensive player, Riley Lampman, just a defensive spark, just brings a completely different level of energy to the game. Logan Elliott, another sophomore. Peyton Murphy, another sophomore. I'll even maybe throw a freshman name out there. Madison Davis. Those are all some players that I think you're going to see some time throughout the course of the year that have the ability to step in and contribute right away. Not necessarily just role players. We're still young. I'm not going to say that we're not still young with a lot of sophomores and juniors, but the young kids have talent. So we're on an upswing.
Coach, you brought up this conference, and it's a gauntlet in the MVAC grades here. I mean, two of those teams went into regionals last year with Liberty and Garfield, but then you have Crestview to deal with, Brookfield, Champion. They were all this really, really good programs. What's it going to be like going through it, and how do you kind of see yourselves in the picture of the MVAC?
The league is extraordinarily difficult. A lot of those teams, if you look at them on paper, a lot of those teams did extremely well. And most of those teams that did extremely well really didn't lose a whole lot. Brookfield, for example, made it to the district final last year. Bring back the majority of their core. I'd say they probably bring back 7 of their top 8, or maybe 6 of their top 8. Sophia Hook, obviously a fantastic player. Liberty, I don't know. They graduated maybe a couple here or there. They bring back the core of their team with the Watson girl, Sienna Smith. The Foster girl. Champion, another one, was really kind of a youthful team last year that graduated some people, but they've got some really strong young kids that are going to play for them as well. Crestview is certainly on an upswing. I'm not sure Crestview really graduated anything, to be totally honest with you. I would have to look at their roster. I'd probably remember a couple names if I looked at it, but another really strong team. Garrettsville, a team that made it to the district last year as well. Really an outstanding freshman class. I can see some of those kids stepping in and playing right away and contributing. So the league is really just kind of chock full of teams top to bottom. I hope that we'll be more competitive this year. I preach to the girls, be the team that is difficult to beat on any given night, and really go out. And I see us becoming more competitive than we've been in the past. So I like that aspect. We've been trying to stress the competitive nature, that every single possession is an individual competition. There's a winner, there's a loser, and the kids are grasping that. So I think we'll put up a lot more fight this year, and hopefully be the team that is difficult to beat on any given night. But with our league, you better show up on every single night, because you're going to be playing against a really good team. And I even throw out, LeBray. They've got some really young, talented kids. I know they graduated quite a bit. Campbell, they're on an upswing as well. Coach Children's doing a really fantastic job down there with those kids, and they're on an upswing. So really, every team you play against in the league this year is going to be an interesting night.
Hey, so you have to deal with all those teams, but I know Newton Falls also never shies away from a non-conference schedule.
No, we do not.
Who are some teams that pop up outside of your conference this year?
Oh my goodness. Southeast is kind of a nearby school to Newton Falls here. They always have an outstanding team. We're actually doing a boy-girl doubleheader with them this year on a Friday night, so that would definitely be an exciting evening. Lakeview, there's another school that we typically play, that we usually have a pretty significant battle with. And then, non-league teams after that. We recently picked up JFK, and I don't know if people are familiar with JFK or not, but we got to see them once over the summer, where they got size, they got some kids that can shoot it. I think JFK might be a Division IV school, which is unusual for us to have a D4 team on our schedule, to be totally honest. But they've got some kids that can really play over there at JFK. Some other ones that probably come into mind off the top of my head. kind of drawing a blank at this point. Harding, obviously, always very talented, but yeah, non-league schedule is no slouch, that's for sure.
All right,
Drawing a blank at the moment.
So you've also brought up some new players that you bring in, and last year you was a lot of youth as well. So one of my questions for you is, because you've been doing this for a while, when you bring in a freshman or bring in someone that wants to join your program, first impressions have to be so important for you and for them to kind of trust what you're saying. What are some things that you want them to know right off the jump about you, your coaching staff, and the kind of the philosophy and culture you have in Newton Falls?
Wow, good question. First thing that's going to come to mind when you come to our practice is we're going to say two things: defense wins games, but rebounding wins championships, and that's going to be the two biggest emphasis. If you're in my practice, you're going to hear about the defensive intensity, and you're going to hear about rebounding. I don't care what drill we're doing, offensive drill, defensive drill, rebounding is part of that drill every single possession. And if you don't, if you get kids that decide to take a play off and you're not going to go rebound the ball, you're going to hear about it right away. So defense wins games, rebounding wins championships. Offense will put some people in the stands here or there, but those two things are going to get you additional possessions, and they're going to definitely win you some games and win you some championships. So those first and foremost. The next thing that you're probably going to get from me is I don't do lazy. I won't be the most enthusiastic one in the gym. I refuse to be that, and I'm pretty high energy. But the girls have to be high energy as well, because I can never be the one that has the most excitement in the gym. And I really don't deal with lazy. Give me effort, give me enthusiasm, and everything else is just going to be icing on the cake.
How much do you test them on that and really bring the enthusiasm to see if they can match you?
I test them every single day, because I'm pretty high energy. I'm pretty high energy in the classroom, and I'm pretty high energy in the gym as well. So I'm usually typically pretty wore out by the end of the day, if I'm being honest.
Coach, before we let you go, I want to let you give a shout out to your coaching staff and kind of introduce them and what they bring to the program as well. You got great ones.
Yeah, in the junior high level, I'm excited. I got one of my former players, Kayla Brecka. Brecka is probably a name you've heard. I've had all the Brecka sisters here at the school, and she's recently gone to school to get her teaching certificate, and I'm ecstatic to have her. She is a natural at that level, and she enjoys the junior high level. So that's going to be that's a huge find for us. Another one of my former players, Marissa Tensing, is helping out at the junior high level. Brian Downing, Coach Downing's been with me now for probably 12, 13 years at the junior high level. And then my right hand man, Tony Huschauer, I actually consider him. I consider us at this point to be co-head coaches. One of us will typically take the defense, and one will take the offense. And I would really be lost without Coach Tony at this point, because he does so much for the team. There's so many things that I just don't have to worry about that I know get done, and I never even have to say those things. Coach Tony and I have been together now for probably, might be 14 years, and I think I'm going on year 19 or so here at Newton Falls. It's been a good 19 years, but I certainly couldn't have done it without those assistant coaches by any means.
19 awesome years. We're happy to be a part of this one, Coach. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us and giving us a little bit of preview of the season. We look forward to covering you guys all year, and we also look forward to talking to you again real soon.
All right. Thank you. Take care.